Hey there, it's your boy Foxy, back for more relationship stories. Update. My wife, 27 female, is going on a work trip with an ex-friend with benefits, and I, 28 male, find it concerning. Original post. My wife and I have been together 4 years and married for 2 years. She works in an international consulting group, which means she's usually out of the country at least a week or two every couple of months. I don't mind since I like having some alone time and playing video games or whatnot. She told me early on in our relationship that right before we started dating, she had a fling with her then boss. She kind of regretted it, but he moved apartments for unrelated reasons. I know she didn't have to tell me this, but me being curious asked more questions, and she told me that hooked up on a couple work trips and in the office. She was 22 at the time, and now she realized how dumb it could have been, but according to her it was fully consensual. Now 5 years later, her new boss retired and her previous FWB boss took over. I asked her how she felt knowing what took place, and she didn't seem concerned. They have good working relationship, she told me, and what happened was a long time ago. About 2 weeks ago, she tells me she is going to the Philippines with him potentially, because a project there is behind schedule. They will fly there with a team of their co-workers to sort things out and be back in a few days. I feel a little on edge, but there is not really much to be suspicious about, so I just trust her. She has been nothing but upfront and honest in our relationship. Now a week out, she tells me the plans have kind of changed. It's just her and him going together as the other people had obligations, and it's now going to be longer than a few days, and she told me he asked her if she wanted to stay an extra day to go snorkeling. I freeze for that moment and completely agree to it. I don't think she posed it as a question either. Only after this conversation do I think of what she actually said. Now I'm worried after I started thinking about their past and how they will be in a tropical location together and drinking, as well as even snorkeling. I feel jealous and insecure and almost want to ask if she would consider staying home. On the other hand, during 4 years of being with her, she's never given me any reason to not trust her. She's even been very honest about this trip. I feel like I should let her go and trust her. I don't want to be the jealous husband who's trying to prevent her from cheating and messing with her career. If she really wants to cheat, she can anyway, no matter if I try to stop it. Is this thinking off base, or should I confront her now? Now for the top advice before reading the update. The snorkeling and anything non-work related is a huge no-no. Bad idea. Bad idea. I honestly can't believe she would even plan to do something like that given the history. It's inconsiderate and disrespectful to the marriage. Complete disregard of OP's feelings. Of course I would be on edge. What does snorkeling have to do with a business trip anyway? It's worse if she didn't even ask OP if he would be okay with it. In fact, I would never even have the audacity to think about doing something like that and then ask in the first place. It's suspicious. OP should definitely put his foot down and let her know this is not okay. Sounds like a lot of trickle truth to me. Update us when she tells you that due to a booking error, they have to share a room. Right. Then nothing happened. Followed by, well, there was just a kiss, but I shut him down. Then finally, yes, we hooked up. Wow, look at that. With only 1 week to go, suddenly the rest of the team have last-minute obligations and can't go. It will now only be your wife's boss and the woman he used to bang in Southeast Asia on a work trip. Call me paranoid, but this sounds orchestrated. Your relationship is a Boeing 747 headed for the mountains. The warning pull-up has started sounding. Pull up OP. I 100% believe that this was actually the case. This has happened before with her trips and is common in this industry. It just so happens it was with him that it happened with, as suspicious as it sounds. And now for the update. So the update everyone didn't want, including me. She cheated on the trip. When I wrote the post, she had already went to the West Coast to spend time with her family before continuing on to her work trip, so I really didn't have time to talk to her about it again. I decided to let her make her own decisions and live with whatever she chose to do. She went, texted me like normal, acted like normal, said she loved me, called me. Obviously I'm worried, but I decided to just trust her. She came back and acted completely normal. Actually more loving and caring than she usually was. Seemed happier, to be honest. A couple weeks go by and I am messing around on her phone, looking at all her photos including from her trip. I'm not even thinking of snooping as she's right next to me. I joke around and click on recently deleted, and she freaks out and grabs the phone from me. I immediately get suspicious. She is obviously trying to hide the phone, but she said it's her private phone. I say I need to see the phone now. She starts crying and saying no. Arguing goes on for a while. It's exhausting and so hard. I already know what happened, but now she's trying to trickle truth it and saying something about a photo on her phone that was an accident, which makes zero sense. I stay firm and say I need to see the phone. After probably an hour or two of arguing, she finally hands me the phone and unlocks the recently deleted photos. Tons of nude photos of her, obviously taken by him in bed, and in comprising positions, even some including him and her in bed naked, including a couple intimate acts. I couldn't even believe what I was seeing when I saw her like that. She's crying very hard, saying it was all a mistake and it means nothing. I asked for the full truth eventually. She told me some BS story where it seems like a drunken mistake. This angered me even more, as it's obvious that wasn't the case. To me, it looks like this was a full-blown affair. How would you have this on your phone from a one-night stand? The stories keep changing, classic trickle truth. Even bringing up how I joked about an open relationship at one point. How it means nothing, and she was having a midlife crisis. How she felt I wasn't interested in being intimate, and this was just something to get off on attention, and it didn't mean anything, etc., etc. She was unable to actually give me an honest account of what happened. This is despite me actually having a slight desire of wanting to forgive her. All I wanted was full honesty, and she can't do it. I think probably because she knows full honesty would be unforgivable. I decided to stay with some family in the meantime. She keeps blowing up my phone and wants to try counseling, but I am pretty sure this is the end. Don't know if I need a lawyer as she is very wealthy and I have nothing. Don't want anything from her, so that's where I am at now. I can't believe how this stuff is possible. Even though you could fully trust someone, they can have the capability to lie straight to your face. If I didn't see her phone, I think I would have never known, or if she was smart enough to actually permanently delete her photos with her boss. I'm sorry, man, that sucks. And you're right that none of us wanted this update. I freaking hate it when cheaters say it meant nothing. So, breaking your vows meant nothing. You threw away your marriage for nothing. Well, screw you. And a one-time fling by a partner who feels remorse, and who confesses right away, and who is apparently truthful. Maybe I could forgive that. But long-term dishonesty is a deal-breaker for me. Anyways, my crap doesn't have to be your crap, so I hope that however things go for you OP, they end up with you being happy. Think she can't be honest because it wasn't a one-time stupid mistake. That's what I'm working with. As a corporate guy, I think she is withholding the real story because it may involve her boss and her mischarging their time and expenses to the company. If the Philippines trip was real, maybe it was for a day or two less than they claimed they needed to be there for. Of course, the real reason for the extra days was for them to bang their brains out. But if she told you that, you could trigger a career-crushing investigation for both of them. Her veracity is crap, so anything is possible here. This was a planned bangfist, just the two of them as you saw. You said that she traveled often for work. I guess the questions involve whether this was typical behavior by her over the years, probably with management as she is ambitious. Sorry you've been played, she's almost as smart as she thinks she is. Why does she want to stay married? Like really, why? What would she get out of it? I have no clue. I asked her the same thing. She is just begging to stay married and work on things. She had the chance to work on things already, she could have not gone. She did so anyway. She did things anyway. She decided she didn't want to work on things with you already. Sorry for your loss. Move on, my dude. Take everything. Get a good lawyer. I wouldn't do that. I'm mad, but I don't want her stuff. Be grateful you know what she's like. Feel the pain. Allow yourself time to heal. Move on. There are heaps of wonderful women who will not cheat on you. You should see a lawyer though. Don't walk away with what isn't fair. Best thing you can do is not draw it out. Be fair and negotiate in good faith. You'll be okay. Next story. Updated and moving forward. So, this is what happened. I found out almost 6 months to the day that my wife/best friend had been cheating me on for almost 3 years. We have been together for 18 years. In the last 18 years, I have never dreamed about wanting any women other than her, and I thought the feelings were mutual. The past 3 years she became distant, secretive, on her phone constantly in a separate room. I would constantly ask her, is everything okay? Her reply was always, yes, why do you ask? Then about a year ago, she would start asking me, are you seeing someone else? I was floored that she would even ask me that question. I have always been an open book. I've never had a social account like Facebook, or any social account to speak of, and my cell phone was always an open book for her. She even had the password to unlock it, all my email account login and passwords, etc. Then on the morning of Saturday, June 25, 2022, we were sitting on the sofa drinking coffee. She was being distant, and I asked her, who are you seeing? She broke down and told me she had been seeing a contract worker for the past 2.5 years. I asked her who, and she told me. He was 10 years younger than her, married with 4 kids. I broke down. I was devastated. My life was and still is shattered. All respect and trust for the past 18 years died that day. I was the kind of husband that never had a bad thing to say to my wife in front of her or behind her back. I always encouraged her in any endeavor she attempted. I told her many times how beautiful, intelligent she was, and how much I truly loved her. I tried to show her love in the simplest ways, holding hands alone and in public. I always felt like she had my back no matter what, and she knew I had her back. Now I feel like I have just wasted 18 years of my life. I feel like for the past 18 years, whenever I kissed her at the door while leaving for work and she told me she loved me, it was a lie. She has been very remorseful. She has broken down on various occasions in the past 6 months, still begging for forgiveness. She has cut off all contact with the guy, deleted all social media apps, even called him up in front of me on speakerphone, telling him it was over and to never contact her again, or else she or I would be contacting his wife, letting her know what a lowlife he also is. She even gave me all logins and passwords to all her accounts, email, other apps, bank accounts, and credit cards. She told me she made the biggest mistake in her life by carrying on an affair, and that losing me would devastate her life forever. My problem is, I can't accept her apology. I do not trust her, and I still consider her a liar. I know it's only been 6 months, but I still feel the same. I honestly don't know if I can ever trust her again the way I feel now. I feel useless as a man. I've lost my self-respect as a person, and it hurts so much to even think about what she has done to me. When we are alone, I see them two together all the time. I felt the best course of action is to move on, even though I still love her. And as of the time I'm posting this, I did inform the affair partner's wife about everything that transpired between him and my wife. I supplied her with dates and hotel receipts my wife provided. She has since booted his butt out the door and is in the process of filing for a divorce. As for me, I am also in the process of filing for divorce. I have decided for my mental well-being that divorce was the only option left for me. Knowing that I will be cutting all legal ties with my spouse has helped me heal mentally on a large scale. I know now that there is nothing wrong with me, and I did nothing to deserve this type of betrayal. I am happy knowing I will be moving on with my life. Great update. Sometimes cheating is just a deal breaker. Any cheating is hard to deal with. 2.5 years is a long time and moves it toward the top of the scale. It is much better to make the decision now, as opposed to 5 years down the road after a failed reconciliation attempt. Your progress in healing and feelings at this point are a clear indication that you made the right decision for you. Good luck. Thanks. Advice I've received on Reddit has helped me so much in dealing with everything that has happened in the last 6 months. I know I am making the right decision moving on. You did the right thing, buddy, because it will eat away at you like acid. I am really sorry that you were in a sham marriage, and sadly, many are like that now. 3 years is a whole other relationship that she was in. Know that we have your back always. So glad you are moving on without a liar and a cheater. In my opinion, there's so coming back from this. For someone to pull off that level of deception, it's completely sociopathic. The good thing is that decent, loyal people like us are in high demand, just have to navigate through the liars and cheaters. And maybe one day, we will be in a relationship with mutual real love and respect. Here's to happier and brighter days ahead, my friend. Thanks. I know moving on will be hard, because I will be more judgmental when I do meet someone. I guess being battle scared does that to you. If I do find someone, it will be a plus. Last story. Telling my wife to expect to hear from my lawyer has lifted such a weight. D-Day was approximately 2 months ago. Since then, I have been couch surfing, spending time at my parents', and a few days in our house together, all trying to debate my best path forward here. Unfortunately, in my state, you cannot file for divorce until you are married for 6 months, so I had over a month of just waiting it out, although she had no idea I was talking to lawyers. I was given the option to have my lawyer blindly email her, or to tell her on my own. At the end of the day, I did not want to hide behind my lawyer and wanted to tell her myself the game was over. So I did. I told her I don't trust her. That ever since that day, I have not been able to look at her the same. That I don't feel the same way about her now as I did before this all came out. That I don't see us having kids and raising a family together. That I don't see us growing old and being happy together. She immediately asks, what does all that mean? Me, that I'm done. I can't do this any longer. My lawyer will be contacting you tomorrow. I was dreading actually telling her for so long. I would teeter-totter back and forth endlessly. One day I'm furious and know it'll never work. The next day she is nice, and I feel horrible that I want to take everything from her. But in the end, I am not taking away anything. She chose to give it all up. She just didn't expect to get caught. I'm just here to tell you that you can do it too. You don't deserve to be treated like this. I know it's scary and you are unsure what to do, but you need to do what is right for you, and you only. If you are here, your spouse or loved one has already disregarded your feelings. I am not saying whether to leave or stay, but I am saying whatever you decide to do, please make sure the decision is solely for you. Wait, you haven't even been married 6 months, and she couldn't not cheat. Brother, if I had known a few months into marriage that my ex-wife was cheating on me, which she was, I'd have gone for an annulment. Look into that. Sorry that you are going through this. Stay strong. Thanks. We are but unfortunately in my state that we need proof of adultery before the marriage. It's dumb here. Well, maybe you could ask her if she was cheating before you were married, so you could both avoid the divorce and just get an annulment. If you write it nicely enough, who knows? What does she have to lose anyway? You're getting divorced. Maybe an annulment would be better. I know the feeling. My soon-to-be ex thought she was pulling a fast one, but she didn't, as I knew about her affair. She was playing it off as losing the spark or growing apart, but I had proof of her betrayal. I got my ducks in a row, confronted her, and when she darn near screamed at me and called me a controlling jerk for telling her to cut off contact with a fair partner, I told her she would be expecting an email from my lawyer, and I filed. She stopped immediately and burst into tears. I wish I recorded that moment. Good luck, man. Same. I was slowly piecing it together for a long time before confronting her. Instead of the spark not being there, I got the "my needs weren't being met" speech. Same playbook though.